precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. The Central Bank establishes Stakeholder Engagement Committee. Global apparel industry steps up to support Sri Lanka's apparel sector. MP Dr. Harsha De Silva says that the country needs extensive and broad economic reforms. Tourism Development Authority says it is compulsory for those who are in the industry to get registered with the authority. And in world news, an official drought declared across large parts of England. And in sports news, Royal and Isipatana clash in Under-20 Rugby League decider. Now the local news in detail. The Central Bank has established the Stakeholder Engagement Committee with a view to broadening its engagement with key stakeholders of the economy. This replaces the Monetary Policy Consultative Committee and the Financial System Stability Consultative Committee of the Central Bank that was operative previously. The committee is chaired by Professor of Economics at the Department of Economics of the University of Colombo, Srimal Aberatna. It comprises 17 eminent personalities from the private sector and academia. The global apparel industry has issued a call to action regarding Sri Lanka's economic crisis, urging the stakeholders across the world to step up efforts in ensuring the island nation's high-performing sector does not lose momentum. As reported by Just Style, a global apparel sourcing and industry news platform, the organizations are coming together to express their support for Sri Lanka's garment industry and its workers during the country's economic crisis. The American Apparel and Footwear Association has sent a letter on behalf of the buyers to its counterpart association in Sri Lanka, the Joint Apparel Association Forum, to reiterate the U.S. apparel and footwear industry's strong support for the Sri Lankan garment industry. Samagi Jana Balawege MP Dr. Harsha De Silva says he agrees with the policy statement of the President presented in Parliament to solve problems in the country. He said those proposals will help to solve economic issues. He said a team, a program and honesty are needed to achieve the aims. He further said in Parliament yesterday that the country needs extensive and broad economic reforms. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
Continuing local news, Director General of the Tourism Authority, Dhammika Wijayasinghe, says it is compulsory for those who are in the tourism industry to get registered at the authority. She said registration is compulsory to get facilities and benefits given by the authority. She further said they can register by logging in to the official website of the Tourism Development Authority. She added that they expect more than 50,000 tourist arrivals this month. The Free Trade Zone manufacturers yesterday called out the Public Utilities Commission for being unjust towards industries by imposing a massive electricity tariff hike this week. The Free Trade Zone Manufacturers Association, on behalf of the Board of Investment Enterprises, has sent a letter to Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara requesting to urgently reconsider the revision that came into effect on August 10th. They said the incremental cost that comes with the revision would add to the manufacturing cost, resulting in making the made in Sri Lanka products in export markets highly uncompetitive. Imprisoned former MP Ranjan Ramanayaka has signed a letter seeking a presidential pardon, his attorney Dinesh Vidyapathirana confirmed today. The letter, prepared by Ramanayaka's attorneys, will be sent to President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Mr. Ramanayaka is currently serving a prison sentence over contempt of court. With that, we conclude the local news.
Imagine if you could maintain a firm hold of your operations from anywhere. People's Bank Online Corporate Banking. Imagine business anywhere.
news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says that there will not be a fuel shortage in coming weeks. A fuel ship which contains 35,000 metric tons of petrol reached the Colombo port on Thursday night. Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said unloading of the shipment has been carried out since last morning. He said all payments for the ship have already been made by the central bank. That was main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
The closing date for accepting applications for the recruitment of new students for National Colleges of Education has been extended to August 19th by the Education Department. New students are recruited for the Colleges of Education based on the results of the Advanced Level Examination 2021 that came to you in Watchlight.
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Moving on to world news, taking a look at the headlines of the world news. Official drought declared across large parts of England. Suspected bank robber rescued from tunnel near Vatican. Wild goat removed from festival throne amid Irish heat alert. Now the world news in detail. An official drought has been declared as low water levels and tender dry conditions continue across the UK. 8 parts of England, including Devon, Kent, East Anglia and Lincolnshire, are affected. The move is expected to trigger stricter controls on water use, and 5 water companies have already announced restrictions, including hosepipe bans. Millions are expected to be impacted by the Environment Agency said essential water supplies were safe. An Italian man has been rescued from a collapsed tunnel near the Vatican, and police suspect he could have been burrowing his way into a bank. He is now recovering in hospital after firefighters spent 8 hours digging him out from under a road. But he may now need to dig himself out of further trouble, as police have arrested him and a second man for damage to public property. Officers believe he may have been part of a gang trying to break into a bank. A wild goat has been taken down from a 50-feet stand at a festival in Ireland for the second day in a row as temperatures soar across the country. The annual fair in Kelliglan in County Kerry sees a goat crowned a king paraded through the town during the 3-day event. The animal was removed from its cage on Thursday and Friday as the mercury hit the high 20s. Organizers said the goat had a clean bill of health and was being monitored. Before we conclude the world news, the headlines of the world news once again. Official drought declared across large parts of England. Suspected bank robber rescued from tunnel near Vatican. Wild goat removed from festival throne amid Irish heat alert. That concludes the world news. Moving on to the development news. Deputy Director of Ambalantota Rice Research Institute, Harshini Siwadana, said that the institute has taken steps to release the 378 Sudukakulu new rice variety to the farmers. She said a yield of 180 bushels per acre can be obtained through this new variety of rice, which can be harvested in 3.5 months. After a trial period of 13 years, this new rice variety has been cultivated by farmers in the Hambantota, Polonnaruwa, Anuradhapura, Matara, Gaul, Ratnapura districts. She said the new rice variety is suitable for cultivation in any region of the country. That was Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
First, we take a look at rugby. Royal College and Isipatana College Colombo will revive their rivalry once again when the two teams clash in the 2022 Inter-Schools Under-20 A Division League Rugby Tournament, deciding Super Round encounter at Havelock Park tomorrow. Royal and Isipatana have fought their way and set the stage for a massive showdown with the winners to be crowned as the league champions, who will also receive the major Milroy Fernando Memorial Trophy. Defending champions Royal are chasing a fourth successive A Division League title, while the unbeaten Isipatana is hoping to lift the title after their success in the 2016 season. Then we take a look at football. England Euro 2022 winners Millie Bright, Beth Mead and Lucy Bronze have been nominated for the Women's Ballon d'Or awarded to the Best Female Footballer of 2022. Lionel Messi, the 7-time men's winner, misses out as 15 Premier League players, including 12 from Liverpool and Manchester City, are nominated. Messi won the award in 2021. That was Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
TJ Lanka PLC has made a positive start on 2022-23, posting group revenue of 23.9 billion rupees for the 3 months ending June 30th, 2022. The group achieved nearly half its full-year revenue of 2021 to 2022 in just the first quarter of the new financial year as a result of the low base of the previous financial year due to the impacts of COVID, the depreciation of the rupee and the passing on of yarn price increases during the last quarter. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Taking a look at the economic news, the Colombo Bourse continued its upward momentum, reaching 9,000 level amidst recording 6 billion rupees of turnover due to local and foreign investor interest on heavyweight stocks with the positive sentiment surrounding. All-share price index increased by 321.3 points yesterday to close at 9,027.5 for the day, whilst S&P SL20 index gained by 143.1 points to close at 3,072. That was economic news. Finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says a few showers will occur in western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in central, Uva and eastern provinces during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. The central bank establishes stakeholder engagement committee. Global apparel industry steps up to support Sri Lanka's apparel sector. MP Dr. Harsha De Silva says that the country needs extensive and broad economic reforms. Tourism Development Authority says it is compulsory for those who are in the industry to get registered with the authority. That concludes the news. And the time precisely is 1:29, and we have an obituary notice for broadcast this afternoon. The death is announced of M.H.M. Mushin of number 410, 101, Baudaloka Mavata, Colombo 7. The death is announced of M.H.M. Mushin of number 410 upon 101, Baudaloka Mavata, Colombo 7, and retired sales manager, Lanco Paint Ratmalana. He is the husband of Latifa, son of late Mr. and Mrs. Hamdoon Mohideen, son-in-law of A.R.U. Lebbe and Khatija Umar of Nawalapitia. He is the brother of Mohideen, Siti Aisha, and late Hasina, Shaul Hamid, Abdul Rahman. He is the brother-in-law of Rauf, Tawfiq, Mahroof, Farooq, Ghaffar, Wazir, Sharif, Huzaifa, and late Aziz, Zainab, Khalida and Shamsun. Janaza will be at number 60/17, Lianage Road, Dahiwala. Burial at Dahiwala Juma Masjid burial grounds after Asr prayer. I shall repeat the obituary notice you just heard once more. The death is announced of M.H.M. Mushin of number 410 upon 101 Baudaloka Mavata, Colombo 7, and retired sales manager, Lanco Paint, Ratmalana. He is the husband of Latifa, son of late Mr. and Mrs. Hamdoon Mohideen, son-in-law of A.R.U. Lebbe and Khatija Umma of Nawalapitia. He is the brother of Mohideen, Siti, Aisha, and late Hasina, Shaul Hamid, Abdul Rahman. He is the brother-in-law of Rauf, Tawfiq, Mahroof, Farooq, Ghaffar, Wazir, Sharif, Huzaifa, and late Aziz, Zainab, Khalida and Shamsun. Janaza will be at number 60/17, Lianage Road, Dahiwala. Burial at Dahiwala Juma Masjid burial grounds after Asr prayer.